So basically you planted your flag and you said, look, this is it. Line is in the sand.
Yeah.
Like I'm on the shore burning ships. I gotta make it work.
Yeah.
Man, how was that? How was that for you? Like, what did that feel like? Can you describe that? Because I know there are people who get on the fence and are scared to take those kinds of leaps.
Oh yeah. I was tired of working all them jobs, like I told you. I was on 5 different payrolls. So I said, my main thing is, you mean to tell me that someone can make this much money off of one client? There's 5 of them buildings that I'm when I get off work, one client is 5 of these buildings. So you mean to tell me you can be successful in this industry if you work with 3 clients a week, depending upon the client, one client a week. I'm like, I know that I can at least work with 3 clients a week. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna research. I'm gonna study how to market, how to get clients, what I need to do. I'm gonna make it work for me. If I was able to be in this cleaning industry and all these years, if I was able to have a cleaning business and have to go through all that as far as getting clients and saying, that's totally different. I'm trying to convince you of let's doing a partnership together. I know that I can sell a life insurance policy, because the way I looked at it, I'm not selling the policy. I'm solving an issue for a family. That's the way I looked at it. Not like I'm, hey, I got this policy. Can you get this here? No, what is your need? What's your goal? What is it that you need to make this, to fill this circle for you? That's what I'm offering. So I said, if I come from that perspective, I'll be a lot more trustworthy. And I said, the only thing I need to work on is making myself reputable out the beginning. And that's what I did. Straight out the gate, I started doing things as far as like marketing myself and setting myself apart.
Yeah, absolutely. So so when you were getting started, in your life insurance business, so you saw the video, I guess you called the agency or the company or the carrier and say, hey, look, I'm ready. I want to get appointed with you guys. They, told you about the licensing process. You went and got licensed, and you're starting to market your business. And you say, hey, look, I want to start the right way. Did you take the same processes that you used in your cleaning business from standpoint? Did you place ads? Did you just make a list and cold call? How did you start growing your business in the beginning?
I did take it from the same, pretty much like I did with my cleaning business. But I want to say this too, because I know that we're educating and hopefully it's inspiring people that's looking or thinking about coming into the industry. I want to go back to when I was in the license process, because a lot of people like to make excuses for themselves, right? You have to understand, like I said, I was on 5 different payrolls. I was working crazy, but I still got my license.
Yeah.
Because I know some people want to think I got this job and I don't have no time. Well, I had a full-time job and I cleaned 4 buildings after I left my full-time job. And I still managed to get my license. And I did it backwards, because I'm in Florida. You have to do the pre-licensing course. I studied the pre-license course, but I didn't even finish it. I went and passed my state exam and couldn't get my license because it was like, well, you missing some hours. I'm like, they was like, did you do the pre-license course? I'm like, I didn't finish it. They was like, well, you got to finish it. So I actually had passed the state exam and had to go back and do the pre-licensing course. But I did what I had to do to get my license. There was nothing that I was going to allow to get in my way to stop me from getting my license, because in my mind, this license is going to change my life. And it actually did. So going back to as far as to whenever I joined the industry, how did I get clients? Oh, I did some of everything. I definitely marketed like crazy. And me going out in the community speaking, me having yard signs done, me being on the radio, I paid for radio spot stuff here locally as well. That led to me being featured in our Pensacola News Journal here, which is pretty much like if you're in Pensacola, it's pretty much like the biggest publication that you can get here. That was really something that I needed, because my main thing is we got all these other insurance companies I need to legitimize myself. And the only thing I'm trying to do is make my name reputable, because that's the main thing that people look at. You know, what's going to make me go to Jamil Warren and work with him to get life insurance? So that really helped me, and more doors just started to open from there. But I didn't start placing ads until I was in the industry for probably like 6 months to about 8 months.
6 months. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, man, I hear, the commitment, the determination, the discipline, that you had. And I commend you, for, moving on that and making these things happen. And then eventually even say, hey, look, I'm going to invest in myself as well.
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to invest in yourself, whether it be from, time, whether it be from money, whatever it is. You gotta, if you know who you are and you know what your abilities are, you gotta be willing to stand on that, right? And move forward in it, man. So you've now 3 years,
Yeah.
3 years in the business. You still, I mean, look, you're active on social media. I mean, when did you start adding that to the business? Was that something that you added in the beginning, or did you incorporate that later on?
Well, I started with what I can afford in the beginning. Actually, in the beginning, I started with Fiverr videos and things of that nature. And then I did one little shoot where I had like a couple pictures done, and I used them pictures forever, because I was like, okay, I invested in this. Now it's time to flip. I have to start like putting this stuff out. I got to start doing whatever I need to do to start bringing clients in. And that's what was happening. Clients was coming in and clients was coming in. But yes, social media has always been a part of my business, but I've definitely started taking it to the next level pretty much like a year ago. Okay. That's when I really got like, after I went to after I went to the Grant Cardone 10X conference in February of 2019, I left that conference so empowered, and I was like, there's no room for excuses. Like, I am my biggest investment, and I never had a problem with investing in myself, but we always want to put a cap on what we're going to do. I said, no more cap on investing in myself. If it makes sense, if it's regarding the business that I have now, how can it hurt? So that's what I've always done.
Yeah, man. No, you mentioned Grant Cardone, and you mentioned the 10X conference, which, man, I can imagine that was a powerful event to be at.
Wow.
That book, is just an amazing book. When you talk about goal setting and vision casting and what you're going to be aspiring to. For those who are listening, if you're not familiar with Grant Cardone, make sure you definitely check out the 10X rule. But check out the show. Did you see Undercover Billionaire when he was on that show? And you talk about excuse. People make excuses. Look, all excuses go out the window when you see people, overcome those types of obstacles and build things really from scratch, much like you have, Jamil. Building it from scratch. Once again, man, it's just phenomenal. So where I was going as far as the question is, you're on a roll with this right now. What keeps you motivated? Like, what keeps you motivated and keeps you going at this stage?
Yeah, my goal. I haven't hit my goal yet. I haven't hit my goal yet. So, and that's another thing. When you really like a visionary and you have real goals for yourself, you don't make excuses for not hitting them, but you have a tendency of beating yourself up, right? Whatever your goal is for yourself, that's 50,000 in AP for the month, 30,000 AP for the month, whatever that is. Even if I hit my goal, there's always more. So there's things that I want to see in my life. There's things that I want to accomplish that I haven't accomplished yet. And I do have, I want to build a multi-million-dollar agency, and I haven't done that yet. So I still have a long ways to go. So that's what keeps me fueled. It's pretty much like day one for me every day.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. So speaking of agency, now Vital Care, that's your agency.
Correct.
Agency. Did you start with your agency, or did you say, hey, now I'm going to launch my agency now that I've established my business a bit?
Oh yeah, I had my name when I got my license.
You started it right from the beginning. That's another piece that I think is important, for individuals who are joining the business, because what happens is, you get appointed and you start you start writing, and you're getting those commissions, and you're getting that 1099, at the end of the year. If you don't have yourself structured properly, that can actually hurt you, on the backside. So, like Jamil just said, hey, he started his business. He got his business established immediately as soon as he, started growing his insurance agency. He's writing policies. Boom, he's doing it with the business there. So, no, that's good stuff, man. So it sounds like I want to, the question I like to ask, I always like to ask, like, how has having a license changed you as a person, right? And just listening to your journey, like, I can hear some of that, but I'd love to hear you to speak to, how you feel, life, let's say this, life before your insurance license and life after your insurance license.
The number one thing I would say is freedom. Freedom. If I can scream it, freedom. Like, again, because my life was working all of those jobs. There was no time for me at all. There was no time for anything. Everything was just dedicated to working. So even though I work hard like that now, because of course, if I work like that for someone else, I'm going to work like that 50 times more for myself. Right. So the way that my life has changed, I would definitely say I have the freedom to run my business and to live my life and to spend time with my family. That's what I would say. And of course, my income has changed significantly from getting a license as well. I really do know that this is an industry that is well slept on because, and I'm going off the radar, but I just have to say this because I know that we live in a time where people needs to be free of others. What that means is you living for other people. You worrying about what they're going to say. Oh, you in the insurance industry? Who want to do insurance? You never know what industry can change your life because just like I just shared with Mr. Powell here, this industry was offered to me 3 times at the age of 18, and I walked away from it. And who's to say where I would be now had I joined way back then? You know what I'm saying? But I joined 3 years ago, and it didn't take long. I was able to leave those jobs within a matter of 4 months. That's how the income can change your life from joining this type of industry. So if you're on the fence, you need to get off the fence